The Tiger Cats are celebrating the 1999 Grey Cup Championship team at the home opener on Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th. Take Dad to celebrate the Grey Cup champs. Go to ticats.ca/tickets or call 905-547-CATS.
From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Steve Milton.
This is Ticats Today, and I'm Steve Milton. Game 1 is just a couple of days away, Friday night in Calgary, and it's going to be the first CFL regular season game for a number of players, including both of the Ticats starting offensive tackles in Quinton Barrow and Brendan Bordner. So today, a Ticats travel day after this morning's third and final full practice of the week, we're going to introduce you to a couple of these Americans who are new to the CFL. That will include NFLer Ray Wilborn, who will step into the weak side linebacker role, and the big shoes of Simone Lawrence, who is now retired from the field, but is bringing that same relentless energy to the business side of Hamilton Sports Group. Bordner, who will start at left tackle, has been dominant through training camp and has an interesting educational story, both on the college football field and off of it. He's not quite as big as the other four tackles on the roster. That's Barrow, Brandon Kemp, Joel Figueroa, and 6'9", 325-pound Jordan Williams. But at 6'5" and 305, he's not far off. To me, they're all as big as mountains. Bordner grew up in Columbus, the Ohio State capital, and was recruited by Rutgers of the prestigious Big Ten. Now, after redshirting as a freshman, now to the layman, that means practicing without playing and therefore not losing a year of eligibility in the NCAA. He played defensive line for 3 years. But then in 2020, during the delayed pandemic season, he was shifted to offensive line.
I played 3 years of D-line at Rutgers, redshirted my first year. Had a new coaching staff come in shortly before COVID. Head coach Greg Schiano thought it'd be best to move me to O-line. So I kind of trusted him on that, took the risk, took the leap on it. Moved over to O-line, then COVID hit. Had to learn how to play O-line for the first time in my life during COVID while I was at home, just kind of on like Zoom video calls, just trying to learn how to do it. No, I actually started at center and then moved out throughout the year. That year started a couple games in 2020 at tackle and then returned the next year at tackle also.
The COVID situation gave NCAA athletes the option of an extra year of eligibility. So after he graduated in 2020 with 2 degrees from Rutgers, the 8th oldest college in the United States, he used that extra year and transferred to Florida Atlantic in Boca Raton to play in 2022. But until he arrived in Hamilton this spring, that was the last time he played football. He spent 2023, the next year, on his studies with his eligibility all gone. He coached his younger brother's high school team and kept in shape because he was slated to play in the XFL's 2024 season, or at least try out. But when the XFL and the USFL merged just after New Year's into the new UFL, keeping all this straight, many job opportunities dried up, including Bordner's. So he signed with the Ticats just 2 weeks after that merger. But for Bordner, school was not only about Division I football practices and games. School was also about, education, school. Through his 4 years, encompassing 41 games at Rutgers, Bordner was named to the academic All-Big Ten list every season. And he got an undergraduate degree and a master's degree in financial analysis. He then started at left tackle in all 12 games of 2022 at FAU, using that extra year of eligibility as a graduate transfer. He went to FAU partly to play for the line coach, but mostly for the educational incentive.
They gave me the opportunity to get a MBA in 2 years, despite only playing 1 year. That was another factor. And then just kind of some of the guys I was around when I visited felt like a good place to be.
2 master's degrees is pretty rare for a professional football player. But for a while, last week, the Ticats had 2 players who each had a pair of masters, Bordner and global punter Bailey Flint, who was released on Saturday. Now, Ray Wilborn is also getting an education himself in CFL football. He had a great college career at Garden City Community College and then at Ball State in Michigan. Then he spent 4 seasons and 5 NFL stops, including getting 14 special team snaps with the Denver Broncos in 2022. He signed with the Ticats this February, and we talked to him last week, just prior to the second exhibition game in Guelph.
I feel like I'm picking it up. The reps in camp is getting me ready, and obviously the preseason, we got one more this week. Just get my legs under me, and I'll be ready to go week 1 for sure.
And despite growing up in Lansing, Michigan, he hadn't been familiar with the CFL, which was only a couple of hours' drive away.
Nah, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. Once my opportunities kind of were going for the NFL, my agent kind of told me like, "What you think about the NFL?" And early on, I didn't like the idea. But once I talked to Spence, he kind of put me up on game of what the league is like, and I took a shot with it, and I like it right now. So.
So far, Wilborn seems to have been all over the field, and he's one of the keys to the linebacking core, which will have 3 different starters on Friday night than the trio who closed the last season in Montreal, with Kyle Wilson at middle and Destin Talbert at Sam on the wide side of the field. That linebacking trio are among the many topics that we discuss in today's first 2024 episode of Ticats This Week on ticats.ca/listen. I jump into that expanded roundtable this and every Wednesday with the voice of the Ticats, RJ Broadhead, and broadcast analysts and former Ticat stars Luke Tasker and Mike Daly. So catch us there and catch the next episode of Ticats Today on Thursday when I'll be at McMahon Stadium for both the Stampeders and Ticats Day Before the Game interviews. We'll reconvene tomorrow, but myself and the whole crew here thank you for spending your today with us.
This has been Ticats Today with Steve Milton. Catch it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.